it's just about time to get the party started. And this one is underway here on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. First play and a first pass for Murray. Caught left side Hopkins. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. To throw again on second down. Murray. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Murray. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
That is their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Taking it about the 16. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. Lance and the 49ers now, 1st and 10. Just shy of the 30. To throw, it's Lance. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
So, CD, you look at this offense and what they've been able to do. 8-0, perfect through the first 2 months of the year. Second half of the season still to come. We get that. But what kind of a percentage chance do you think that they have of running the table?
Gardner, I think it's hard to say because history would tell us that the chances aren't good at all. We've seen a lot of good teams get to this point, and then they have that one bad week and takes them out of the running. I'm going to say 25%, and I feel like I'm being generous with that number.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rally to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that. I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13.
Here's Lance to throw it. This one finds Wilson downfield.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 27 yards there, a first down.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going, and right now it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 27. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. Oh, what a juke into space. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Christian McCaffrey, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. He's going to loft one deep left side here.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you come in off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, 49ers.
Another impressive drive. So they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, and not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced a punt to get the ball back, and they've played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete. This defense for the Niners, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league and converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. And now Murray's going to set up to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Look at the big man rumble. And he will bring this one back. It's a fumble return for the 49er touchdown.
So now our referee looking at the sideline saying, are you sure? But yes, this defense has accepted the penalty. So that means they will not take possession on the fumble recovery. Well, not sure why in the world you do that, but that is apparently the decision.
Throwing on 1st down is Murray. Finding his target, it's Trey McBride. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Shotgun now from Murray.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
Murray going to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
Already down 2 scores. They're going to go for this rather than settle for 3.
They're going for it. Hits Murray. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The Cardinals unable to convert there on 4th down. And the 49ers are going to get the football back. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think that's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
From just shy of midfield, Lance. Open man is Higgins.
And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. Room here to run. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL.
Here we go. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Back to the ground attack here. It's McCaffrey. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
From the 7, it's 2nd and 5. Off the option, here's McCaffrey.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. The 49ers are going to turn over to the special teams crew. The field goal unit is out there now. And his kick is good.
So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
I know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
3rd and 2, and here's Murray. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
He'll return it from the 6. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the 49ers will take over deep in their own territory. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material.
Lance now on first down. He finds Wilson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
Meanwhile, Lance's throw here going to be caught by Wilson. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Up the gut, McCaffrey. And he'll get it inside the 35.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Ready. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
And that's what I like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Play action. Now it's Lance. Finding Gray going across the field.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Danny Gray with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the 49ers are able to add on to their first half lead.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30. He's at the 40, 20, 10. He will take this all the way. Touchdown, Arizona.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from the special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
Well, let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking out some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
Okay, ready?
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time. Now, Charles, remember they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick strike opportunity last time by where they were in the field, and you're exactly right about that. But now, backed up a little bit. What's that old expression we love to use? Time to matriculate the ball down the field and try and do it again.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy. We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
And now they'll throw with Lance.
Throw left side. McCaffrey's got it.
And they'll work this down inside the 30.
And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here.
He rifles one that's intercepted.
And the Cards are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered. They'd had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one they made right there.
He's going to go for a big play downfield. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. A huge play there for Arizona. 56 yards. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. They'll try to run this one in. And he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. Taking it in from 2 yards out.
And the Cardinals get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
Extra point right down the middle. And a lead down to 10, 24-14. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away.
Cordero Patterson to return it, bringing it out of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
Already enjoying a 2-score lead here late in the second quarter. Not a ton of time left. We'll see if they can work this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 to add on even more to their lead.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
And Lance's throw caught by Gray.
Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Buda Baker with a pick.
And the Cardinals will have the football as this is taken up past the 30.
Final 17 seconds of the half here as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. After the turnover, here's Murray. And down he goes. The 49ers get there.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half.
Patterson going to bring this out of the end zone. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
A throw over the middle taken in. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Well, again, plenty of time to sit in the pocket and deliver the football while the offensive linemen, they may be nameless and faceless to a lot of people. They certainly aren't to their teammates with the skill position guys. They appreciate the heck out of them, and they're capitalizing.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Meanwhile, Lance's throw is on target to Likely.
And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A first down there on a pickup of 25. A give to Cook out of the gun. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Another run, this time McCaffrey. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
And not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Lance looking to throw it.
And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers.
T. Higgins
with his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Niners take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They'll start this drive out on the ground.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards the pickup, good enough for an Arizona first.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
From the 39,
Murray. Able to get this one to McBride. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 49-yard.
Murray has it knocked loose, fumble.
And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. The 20. And he will bring this one back. It's a fumble return for the 49er touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score. And a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower postgame. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 24. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Phoenix, Arizona's the spot. Glad to have you along for the ride. Third quarter action and a 2nd and 10 upcoming.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they've bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Here comes the Cardinals punter now. He's been terrific so far. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
On 2nd down, it's Cook again.
And this one also slow and developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Now Lance throws the interception, his 3rd.
Picked off by Byron Murphy.
And the Cards are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line.
On 1st and 10, here's Murray.
That's complete to McBride.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. Throwing again on 2nd down. Murray, he's going to loft one deep left side here. This is caught inside the 15.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. To throw is Murray. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Murray. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season.
And the Cardinals are able to cut into that deficit.
It appears they're going to throw for it with Murray. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere. Seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
And Patterson will not return it. It comes out to the 25.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Certainly no reason to panic. They've got the 3-score lead, but the turnover last time, the interception that led to a touchdown, you'd have to think they might not be dialing that up again.
Yeah, probably not. They're still in fantastic shape, though, so I would imagine before he tried it out here for this series, head coach probably just leaned over to him and was like, listen, we're wearing these color shirts. Throw it to those guys, not the others. Try to make a joke out of it and just let them go out there with a little bit more confidence.
And he'll get a couple up to the 29.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Over the middle, he finds Higgins. And he is going to have a 49ers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory.
77 yards on the ground for him so far.
Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it out. We've got them now.
On 2nd down, Cook. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly where we set the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it. As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here's Cook again.
And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves and start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. 3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he's just going to be short here, barely, maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
The 49ers ready to kick it away. And here we go.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he returns this to the 22.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out, because now it's not a total loss, because as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Here's Murray. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Now Murray finding his safety valve here. That's complete.
And he's going to get this down near the 25.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Murray. And this is going to be intercepted.
Picked up by Javon Holland. And the 49ers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
They'll try and wind down some clock with Cook. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
And he's going to have a Niners first down as he's got this up to about the 34-yard line. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the 49ers, the train just keeps rolling 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they'll return home next week to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for Arizona, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Seahawks in Seattle.
Never been about the money or the fame, but when it bring both, so here we go again. Wins on the road, yeah, I got those. Couple records that I hold, yeah, I got those. It's the playoffs, the team just got home. We ain't going outside when it matter most. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's so many given Sunday magic. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's so many given Sunday magic.
I come alive in the dark, and I keep getting stronger. My limit's the sky. I do the impossible, impossible. Shine if I want to. I win every time if I want to. The world mine if I want to. Make the world mine cause I want to. Ay, I'll pull the sword out the border, walk a floor full of cobras. Go to war with you all, we can brawl toe to toe. I can tighten loops in my lace and make lightning lose in a race. I make fire cool and come back from the triangle in Bermuda. I can suit up, live in the moon up, working and outsmarting computers. I can outswim all the tuna, and that's without a scuba. So in the laws of nature, I'm breaking the rules. Only thing I'm bad at is being a loser. I can make time traveling a surprise, make graveyards feel alive, break the immortal down